Beyond approving the task force recommendations, the bills provide that the Board of Education and the State Department of Education will adopt rules and propose any further needed legislation necessary to implement them. Although full implementation comes with a price, the bills do not mandate a particular level of funding, as that will need to be part of the regular appropriations process. I want to thank Governor Otter for appointing the Education Task Force, and I want to thank and congratulate the task force members for turning a new page on education reform by making consensus recommendations. The people of Idaho know that education presents the best opportunity to improve their lives, and they expect those of us in the public office to work together in a nonpartisan, non-political way to improve education. I also want to thank Superintendent Luna for being here today, and I also want to thank him and his staff for being open to us and giving us their advice and suggestions. In keeping with our efforts to move forward with the consensus achieved by the task force, we are sharing these bills widely with elected officials and education stakeholders. We welcome their ideas, and we are of a cooperative and compromising frame of mind. We only want what is best for our school children, and the suggestions that others bring to us will be reflected in these bills. They have changed and they will continue to change, at times on almost a daily basis. I will now turn the podium over to Representative Ward Engelking.
The Education Task Force was a large, broad-based, diverse group of stakeholders working together to create a blueprint for us to use. What resulted from this group's efforts was a set of bipartisan recommendations. As a member of the task force, I was impressed with the dedication and the commitment I observed. I know what kind of research, compromise, and collaboration went into the recommendations forwarded to the governor. These 4 bills that we have here today encompass the recommendations adopted unanimously by the task force. As a task force, we did not prioritize our recommendations. So to focus on one recommendation over the other would be a mistake. I guess I'd like to use just an analogy and say it's like you have a school bus and you buy all new, brand new tires for the school bus except one. And yes, the school bus will continue to run, but it's going to be less effective and less efficient. So to get the best results, we need to implement the recommendations as a package. We cannot pick and choose. Our bills provide a framework to implement these recommendations. And we certainly know we can't do everything totally in 1 year, but we can put that framework in place and begin. It'll be up to JFAC then to allocate the funds needed to begin implementing the entire package all at once. But the framework can be put in place. We cannot wait. We must provide our children and our grandchildren the education and the opportunities they need to stay in Idaho and be successful. Idaho's future and the future of our children is inseparable. They're counting on us. Thank you.
And I think we can all agree that the education is a path to a better lifestyle for everybody. But Idaho has fallen behind in that path, and the path needs a little work right now. To give you an indication, in 2012, Idaho is dead last in spending per pupil. As a result, programs were cut and some schools went to a 4-day week. But all is not lost. We have reason to believe. The Education Task Force that my colleagues talked about has given us a roadmap that addresses many of these issues. The 4 bills that we're distributing today will work to stop the downward trend. And I am confident that my colleagues will agree that, and I invite all lawmakers to join us and address these vital issues. I can only ditto what my colleagues have said. They were more eloquent than I, and I only had a few hours to prepare this.